All right, so this is Hudson Bay. It's fairly similar to Saguenay if you are familiar with that. Trust a lot. No, I trust you, man. You trust me too. Got a recorded game, it looks like. That's okay. It wasn't lag last game. For civs, we have India, Ottomans, and France. That's pretty solid there. It's expected to go Sepoy, Abus, and Cav. Versus them, they have Ottomans, Brits, and Sioux. So there's a little bit of difference there in that Sioux and French are their stable civs. French could go Cav, and if you did and Sioux went bow riders, that would be a little bit mismatched. One possibility is that they went. Are
you ready?
All right. Looks like we're about ready to get back into the game. One possibility is that they would go Abus, Longbow, and Bow Riders, and that'd be a pretty formidable army composition. Not sure what France is going to do here. Going Cav versus Bow Riders can be a death trap. For the map, we don't have any mines behind the town centers. Got a couple mines out front and between. Looks pretty good. There is a couple more hunts perhaps on Team 1's side, but Team 2 has some hunts back too. So I don't think that's going to be game changing. Yeah, Sepoy Musket Abus is really good. Yeah, Bow Rider, Abus, and Cav is definitely an option. That they would have a huge mobility advantage. It depends a little bit on how they want to do this. If they want to play more map control and not pushing hard, then Bow Rider, Abus, and Cav is definitely an option. We have 3 TPs coming out. Quite the opposite of last Hudson Bay match where we had maybe 0 the whole game or none for most of the game at least. All right, yeah, I'll do that, Maclac. Let me see. One moment. I'll leave that up. All right, just a second, and I've got it right here. That one won't work, actually. I don't know. You're just gonna have to wait till tomorrow for it. All right, so back to the game. We've got Sioux coming in with killing the scout off. Killing a scout is actually pretty good. It's a lot less map vision. We have both Indias exploring the top of the map, making sure there's no mines on the ice. We've got Ottomans started a mosque, house, and a TP. India also started a TP, so it's going to be an interesting build. It's definitely not a rush. Looking at the decks, we have water map from India, water deck. France has 2 caravels, otherwise is pretty much a cav deck. Definitely a lot of eco cards in there. Ottomans has 2 galleys. Otherwise, it's actually pretty focused on age 2 with 4 different crate shipments, 3 hussars, and then all the Abus cards. Looking at the other team, for comparison, Ottomans is going water, or has a sea deck at least. Has lots of Spahi cards and Mamelukes. Sioux has he's got the team deck in there with lots of team cards. Team 8 Cheyenne allies all upgraded to veteran, and Team 10 Cree allies all upgraded to veteran is pretty good. He has, as far as H2 go, he only has 700 coins, so we might be looking at a fast industrial type of strategy from him. We'll see. For Dan the Man, another C deck. So we'll see how this plays out. Looks like Tadstar's Twitch isn't working. We'll get it. I will get it figured out. I'm gonna do everything I can. I'll create new accounts, whatever. I'll do what I need to do to make it work tomorrow. So feel free to come back tomorrow. There's going to be even better games tomorrow, probably. We'll see how it goes. So we're gonna do the recalculated economic unit population. It's very even at the moment. For decks sent, shipment sent. The East Indiaman, I think it is. The Doc Travois is sent in right now from India, and he is aging up with several on the Carney in a very open spot. You could herd the deer closer, but you definitely want to be able to get the wood in it, the trees. Sending the dock out right now. Let's see, got a little bit of walls coming up, but you can't wall on the ice. For age up times, everyone is age 2 except for India. We've got military buildings coming up here. All 3 of them are very forward for Team 2. See if they'll be able to make this work. Team 1, I don't see... Okay, there's an artillery foundry, but it doesn't look like we have any stables yet or anything from France. I'm not quite sure what his plan is. We can look at the text being researched. Looks like we got the mining upgrade for Ottomans. The cav raids coming in from Intkatwalipa. Is he going to kill it? Yeah, he does kill that villager. The stable is coming up here, but it's looking... Yeah, are you going to get back in the TC? That would have been really bad if he lost that. Minutemen popped, though. Got more cav coming in. It's a lot of cav from Team 2. Let's see. Got a stable up from India, which means that they could be going camels. Let's look at the India deck. He has the camel cards, so that's definitely a possibility. Got a little bit of walls coming up for Ottomans. And anything else? It could do a lot of damage to those Abus. Villagers are probably need to go back in the TC too. Yep. It's a lot of pressure on Ottomans right here. Got Zambarex coming, but that's not enough yet. Yeah, that's a very, very hard rush from Team 2. We got 3 fishing boats out so far, and that's at the cost of losing a lot from the other team. Look at the units lost. Ottomans has lost 5 villagers. That's very rough. Let's go back to the shipment, see if anything important is there. MDG shipped 600 wood and 600 coin, so he's trying to get units out ASAP. Intkatwalipa shipped 4 villagers after the initial rush, so they're not going all in with the shipments. They sent 4 Axe, very standard, and 5 Janissaries, but they're not. There goes the Vills. Are they going to kill him? Yeah. Moving in now. Let's go back to the units lost. There's 8 villagers lost, 9 villagers lost for Ottomans. He's going to be significantly hurt in this game. Let's see if they do anything else. They're able to beat this back, but the damage has already been done. Ottomans has almost nothing left compared to the other civs, other team players. They're backing up. The damage has been done, but it is possible to boom back, especially with everyone on water like it is, or with India on water. At this point, it's up to Team 2 to dictate the rest of the game. They could either build some docks and contest water, or they could try to push again really soon. Both are good options. They're in a commanding lead right now, though, so Team 1's at the same time got to probably pump out a bunch of units, because if they don't, they could lose the game right here. They're at their FB, so they're doing some damage, but see if this gets pushed back. The defender's advantage is real, y'all. The Zams on top of the Abyss is okay. They're doing a lot at the we're taking out the units at the FB, but we'll see if they can deal with it. That's a lot of Abyss. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be pushed back some. Continue to look at C in a little bit. Got a new TC coming up for Ottomans. That was pretty quick. It is pushed back. Looks like another stable coming out from MDG. Also has the consulate. Going to go back to shipment sent. Has not sent 300 export. For economic units, it's pretty close still. But I think that's mostly due to MDG having a strong eco. Yellow also has a very strong eco, but he's British. That's to be expected. The military is definitely in favor of Team 2, but if they don't use their military, the economy is pretty close, and it might become a much closer game. The trade post is under attack, and it should go down. They're doing something with their army. It's an interesting wall there. Alrighty. Got 2 artillery foundries. I think Kaiser was thinking maybe he'd lose that other one. The TP goes down. Let's see what they're going to do from now on. Caravels were sent. Got a galley fighting. 2 galleys over here. Yeah. They both shipped, Ottomans and British both shipped their warships. Ottoman shipped warships over here. See what they can do. When it comes to the fighting, the Zambraks are on the Cav, or rather the Cav are on the Zambraks. Got the Cav from Team 1 coming in too. Those Abyss need to retreat. It's a lot of Cav. Zambraks behind. They could get into the warships. That is an option. But they're just going to lose the army right there. Got a lot of villagers coming forward. The Zambraks were microed onto the Abyss were microed onto the Zambraks well. So it was a pretty even trade, but overall I think Team 1 lost more units, but they're probably going to win the trade by the end of it. They do have the warships there. Abyss coming back by the end of it. Yeah, Team 1's going to win this fight, but at what cost? It's pretty even trade. Not terrible for either one. This is worse. Team 1 had more units to start with, so it was pretty. They lost more units probably in that fight, but they definitely they cleaned up the army well. At the moment, it's 6 military pop to 42. Let's see. Yeah, the Zambraks did fall like flies. They're not the best unit in the game. They're very good against Cav, but generally speaking, that's where their strength is. Looks like Team 1 is killing the FB of Team 2. Zambraks in melee mode versus the Abyss. Villagers taking down the Zambraks. Team 2 does have all of the TPs right now, but they've kind of lost map control with having so little military out right now. Lost that big fight earlier. Look at the units lost so we can compare it. Yeah, both Cav players have lost the same amount of Cav basically, but the economy for Brits is a little bit better than France's right now. Looking at India and comparing them to Inkatwalipa, he's lost 33 Zambaraks. Inkatwalipa has lost 15 Axe Riders and 10 Bow Riders, and that's a little bit more expensive than 33 Zambaraks. For the Ottomans comparison, the green team, Keister, has lost 9 Abus, 6 Minutemen. So really, MDG and XYH kind of pulling their weight with Keister down so low. We got a raid going on here. It's going to be 2 Vills dead at least. Maybe a third. I don't know if he's going to run back or just try to sacrifice his units on the last Vill. It looks... Is it going to take it? One more hit. It's dead, yeah. Looking over here, they actually take the TP out. Second TP taken out. Yeah, we can look at the economic units. And MDG has 12 fishing boats out. Ottomans is stuck on 15. He's definitely hurting. He got down to what was it, 8 Vills? Something like that. Definitely hurting. Looks like they're going to go for the third TP, just pushing out slowly. They don't want to risk too much. It's a good force here. They're going muskets and bow riders. Muskets versus Abus, not exactly my my go-to choice. What's the third? Some Abus coming out. Okay. I'm not sure why you would go muskets here, honestly. They don't do well into Abus, obviously. You already have bow riders for the Cav. I guess you just really want to protect the Abus, but you have Abus on the enemy team too. Yeah. Let's see how how the muskets fare here. If he melees them all in, it could be okay. There's a lot of Abus on the backside. There's a lot of bow riders too, and not many Zambaraks. Go back to shipment sent. Coming to ages, Dan the Man and Cornet are in age 3, while XYH is age 2, and Keister is aging right now. So Sue is still stuck in age 2, and so is MDG. They definitely pushed that back because they just had a lot more bow riders. It's not exactly the ideal units versus that many Abus, but they had such a mass there that it worked pretty well. Yeah, Teal's going full water. We'll look again at the economic units. 21 at this time. Something. Maybe should be more. Look and see. He has 3 docks out. You're going to want, if you have like maybe 20, 30 more fishing boats out, you'll have all the whales saturated and a lot of the fish. If you overpop on water, you're going to run out of the fish so fast, and you'll have to delete or have idle fishing boats after that. This is a very swingy game, very back and forth. Looking at the economic unit population, Team 1 has the advantage, but it's not by a whole lot. Team 2 has a lot of Has more military out, but we'll see if it gets if they can do anything with it. Yeah, for the boats, there's 30 fishing boats out now. Go back to shipment sent. There's a fort possibly gonna... Oh, it's being built by Purple. A fort wagon coming up. That's a pretty decent place to put a fort. It's, it controls a hunt, TP, and mine. Looks like they're getting a little bit of a wall done. Not exactly the best laid out wall. Let's see if it sticks. Fort going up. Some gendarmes out. Those are H3 gendarmes though. Gendarmes in H3 are not super strong yet. Versus light infantry, they're really good, but see what happens here. Right? You rarely see a fort in 3v3s in all reality, but they have decided to go with it. The Abyss are caught out right now. If that was a prime opportunity for XYH to go in on them, they still killed quite a few. This Cav is going on to the Abyss. Looks like they might be able to get it. The muskets need to move up. It's a lot of Abyss going down. It's pretty good micro by Dan. This looks like a fight that could go either way. I give the advantage to Team 2 right now. There is defender's advantage. We'll see if they can pump out units, get them to the front faster because of it. Yeah. They're gonna back up. They have a bunch of Abyss sitting back here. If that was up here right now, they wouldn't be able to do anything versus it. Decided to back off though. The economies is pretty close. Let's look at the mines and hunts. Yeah, pretty close. Looks like Ottomans has gotten all 3 TPs again. There's been a lot of destroyed TPs. As for ages, we still have MDG and age 2. We just started aging. What do you age with? Let's see, where is it? There we go. That is the Ceasefire Wonder. That is looking good. Yeah, I can change the score up to 1-0. I think. Why isn't it letting me click it? There we go. Alright, 1-0. Yeah, the Spahi out. That's good, but there's a lot of it. There's Zambrax and Goons. And then there's Abyss. Oh, that's a lot of dead vills. Sue did a great job there. Man, Green's been really hurt. Look at his economy compared to everyone else. The fort actually controls quite a bit. That's basically 3 mines and 2 hunts controlled just by the fort. So it has more value than I would originally expect. Oh man, there's a good micro. Really good macro from Cornet. There's 4 Abyss dying at the same time. This is a close fight, but it's pretty crazy. It's double Cav and Abyss versus double Goons and Abyss. That's not very common. I think at this point it might be smart to get some longbows out instead of Cav. We'll see though. It's a pretty interesting fight. The Goons are doing great, of course. Purple's Abyss dealt with Green's Abyss pretty well, but there was a lot of cav lost on Team 2's side. Let's see. Looks like I had to get off of this mine. And the man going to food over here. Sue is still age 2. MDG just hit age 3, or hit age 3 a little while ago. We have 3 TCs out from green, 3 TCs out from purple. Yellow, does he have estates? He does not have estates, and he has, let me close this. He does not have estates, and he has a second TC coming up right now. Back to the fight. Let's see how well the Abyss does. Double cav into double goons is an interesting choice for sure. Double ranged cav. They definitely have a lot of Abyss though. They have a better Abyss numbers because green's economy is just so far behind. This TC is not going up. It's pretty close. No one's going age 4 yet. The dogs are in on the Abyss. If those aren't micro, that could do a lot. Yeah, the goons are just overrun with how many cav they have out. If the Abyss can be microed well, then they'll have this fight, probably. Urimi coming in, though. Team Urimi is a game changer. Yeah, coming in from the backside. Team Urimi can deal, or Abyss can deal with Team Urimi pretty well. They have to be microed well, though. All the cav gone for Team 2. Let's Gendarmes onto the Abyss. We have Ottomans aging up to 4. That's pretty important. When you guys get a chance, go ahead and go down to suggestions and give suggestions for the next tournament. I've been trying to figure out the best way to have teams be decently fair, but also yeah, just have them be fair, but also allow players to pick each other and whatnot. So go ahead and give your suggestions. If you like the way I did it, but just the substitute wasn't very effective, let me know that too. Yeah, we got cannons coming out from MDG. For economy, it's still extremely even. The sea boom makes up for Ottomans having so little vills, but it's a very close game. This is the closest game we've had yet in this tournament. It's a great game. We have an outpost taking out villagers. That's a lot of Abyss. Let's look at the unit counts. Military units. We've got 38 Abyss, 3 Spahi, 8 Janissaries, and then on the other team, it's mostly, okay, 20 Abyss, 27 Zambaraks. They're getting some walls up, though. They're just trying to defend. Let's see. The fort is really allowing a lot of map control over here. Looks like Team 1's plan is to just sit back and try to let green come back in a boom. They probably think they have the advantage economically due to water, and they just are trying to hold it out, let that eco set up. But in reality, yet Green's just so far behind. It's pretty rough. He has 3 TCs, that's good. Ottomans also has 3 T... they've got Raid over here. That is... Galleons being training units is going to change the game, probably. We also have Ottoman, has some Galleouts and Caravels, so we'll see what happens with that. Look at, see the Zambrax. The Zambrax only have 1 card upgrade on them. It's interesting. That's how much he's been going Zambrax. Sepoy don't have any upgrades. Minutemen being popped. Still not quite enough. Dan's walling the seaside. How much is left on that mine? 890 on that mine, and that's a lot of food left. So they're going to be forced into mills and plantations pretty soon. Look at the Sowars out there. Economic population is still very even. Military unit population is pretty close. It's a little bit in favor of Team 1. Looks like the Abus are going in. They're guard Abus. Guard Abus, and let's look at the... Yeah. Oh. He has 2 out of 3 cards for the Abus sent. Could definitely send 1 more. Yeah, the Zabus cleaned up the Zambrax. That wasn't a very good choice to go in there. Abus moving forward. That's a lot of Gendarmes. They're going to need anti-cav. Let's look here. There's a lot of goons coming. Okay, but it might be too late. The Abus need to back up. Goons coming, and Abus get behind the Gendarmes. Those are age 4 Gendarmes. So, yeah, they'll just clean that up. It's a lot of goons, and oh, the goons just moving around. Oof. All those Abus down. This is a great game, guys. Military population of Team 1 is higher, but Team 2 has a pretty even economic population. Green still has pretty weak eco. Let's look at the economic units, and we see that MDG is basically max economy, so it's not going to be boom anymore. Basically, Green's pretty far behind. Otherwise, most and Katulipa has 73 villas. Everyone else is pretty much max or close to max when it comes to villagers. Yeah, Huron gives an upgrade for the fishing boats. It's 25%, I believe. It's pretty big. Got Gendarmes coming in. No. Looks like that was beat back, but for how long? Mahout's coming in. Abus moving forward. Gotta be careful with that. Mahout's just suiciding. Okay. There's a 10 pop of Abus. Let's look at the upgrades of this. It's 208 and 62 versus 221 and 66. So a little bit better for purple. Oof, those Gendarmes. That's rough. Ah, that should have been used a bit ago. That was too late. Looks like economy was put down here, but they see that. The economy is very forward for Team 2. I think they thought they were in a better lead this game or something. Got the sepoy coming in from the backside. Not walling behind. Losing a couple vills. If he wasn't engaging this, I mean, he's obviously got to use goons because that's what he has, but losing a couple vills as Brits isn't the end of the world once you're max. But the sepoy will do decent against the goons, that's for sure. Looking back on the front, got the Gendarmes and Avis coming in. Let's see, got some dogs back here for Corne. Those villagers. I mean, if you're at max villagers as Ottomans, losing 10 vills isn't going to matter, but if you lose a whole lot more, it is going to matter. Yeah, the Gendarmes could jump on the factories. It's possibilities. I don't think he's seen them yet. Bow Riders and melee versus the Gendarmes are not when you have more Gendarmes. That's not going to work for the Bow Riders. It's age 3 Bow Riders versus age 4 Gendarmes too. Avis are chilling back here. They're pretty much out of, both teams are mostly out of safe resources, so it's going to be all on mills and plantations, basically. Avis are unprotected. You're not going, oh, Mamelukes popped. Okay, I see. That was a good pop of Mamelukes, but there's a bunch of Avis here are unprotected. Looking back up here, we've got 4 barracks coming up for MDG. We'll see what he does with it. Alrighty, so military pop is better for Team 2, but the economic population is the same. The economy is the same. Military is better for Team 2 at the moment. There's got this pressure. They definitely don't have map control, and the enemy team is walled. Upgraded the walls too. We'll see what they can do with it. It's very, very close still. The concern is that France would take off because France is very, very good late game with Gendarmes. And while Sioux has good anti-cav units in general, the Bow Riders, they take a while to their animated shot takes a while to load up. And Rifle Riders are not that great versus Gendarmes. They don't have a huge multiplier, and their stats aren't as high as Bow Riders. Bow Riders fire faster than Rifle Riders, obviously. It's just the first shot that is slow. So that was cleaned up. We'll look back over here. There's a lot of Gendarmes on that. It's interesting that they didn't choose to finish walling this right here. It's a lot of Sepoy coming in. Sepoy, I think at this point, Gurkha would be a better choice to build. Because Sepoy versus Avis, obviously that's not good. There's also goons out there. It's a lot of warships on the edge. It's funny. That fort's going down. Thank you for the follow, Darshan. You're awesome. Looks like I don't think they're going to get the factory. That's not enough Sepoy on it. More Sepoy coming in. It might go down. It probably will go down. Yeah, it's one factory down for Dan. Thanks for the wallow, boyu. The follow, boyu. It's factory down. Some good damage for sure. It's going to get the second one. Not sure. If he had microed so he got close to the factory first and then sieged, maybe. But half of his support weren't sieging for a while. Looking back at the fight over here, H4 Gendarmes coming in onto bombards. British goons are good, but they don't have a whole lot of range, and you can't get in close versus Gendarmes, so we'll see what happens there. If you think about it, Team 2's doesn't have any melee, really good melee infantry for a meat shield for Gendarmes, so it's kind of rough. They have pikes, war clubs, and oh, they're calling it? Okay. It's a GG. That was a very GG. That was an excellent game, guys. Thanks for the follow, Elba. Alright, so we'll look at the post stats. We've got... That's a lot of units killed by Cornet. That's expected, though, as an Ottomans player that's going Abus. Look at experience, combat XP, XYH, yeah, the Gendarmes, you can see that. Keister did pretty well considering how low he was. That's kudos to him, because that was he was down super low in amount of vills. Let's look at the military unit population. It's kind of all over the place. Look at team stats, a little bit easier. So early, yeah, they had a lot more units, and then that's very swing back. That swung back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It swung back like 7 or 8 times, maybe more. That was a great game. That was one of the best games I've seen in a long time.